Well, I've come a ways, but it used to be just so terrible that everybody around me was certainly going to swat me down, and I'm drowning in this pool or drowning in this lake because of all these other folks. So as much distance and space as I can get from everybody, the better. So
Great.
and then there's a fear factor with
Interesting.
swimming that all these people around me running, well, we're all going to end this okay. Where I don't know so much with swimming.
Interesting.
So, like, Lissa has made many statements on this podcast already that she's a klutz on land.
Oh my god.
In the
I
water, very graceful, to the point where when I was coaching masters and Lissa was my swimmer, she was in the fast lane, rightfully so.
thank you, thank you.
The fast lane swimmers were allowed to pass each other in the middle of the lane, in the middle of the pool. But everyone else, I had very strict rules for them that they were not allowed to do that because it's a more experienced swimmer can pass without causing chaos and
Mhm.
mayhem.
Hmm.
Where like a less experienced swimmer is going to be a little bit more klutzy and make bad choices and cause lots of chaos, right? So it's really interesting. The I really like the idea and concept of like similarities, but big differences. Like I have two hands and they are very similar, but they're completely opposite. And right, you two seem like my right hand and my left hand right now.
Well,
Like, I
I heard Lissa
understand.
on a podcast recently, you saying, I don't understand why people do triathlons that don't know how to swim. Like they show up to do the triathlon and they don't know how to swim.
I don't get
And yeah, no, that was me. Cause it is like I'm gonna be able to be okay in this water.
it.
And my thought is always everything works out okay. Everything's always gonna be okay. And my husband is always things are not gonna be okay. So he's the one who brings a first aid kit if we're going to like out to eat. And I don't bring a first aid kit if we're going on an overnight hiking trip. And like it's all gonna be okay. That is the philosophy of people like me that show up at triathlons. Just let's see how this goes with the swim. And my second triathlon. Okay, the first one was in 2000 in the Gulf of Mexico. So, and it was called my
Was your
first
first
triathlon.
triathlon in the Gulf of Mexico?
And it was
Yeah, in
incredible.
Galveston. It was a sprint. It was called my first triathlon. So it was a bunch of
Oh,
klutz.
okay. That's so fun.
Yeah. 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 And it I mean, I did do the elementary backstroke the entire time, heads facing up and survived that. And after that triathlon was over, I'm like, I'm not doing this again. That was not fun at all. And it's like having a baby. I guess the memory torrential, like terrible that was. So 18 years later, I was writing an article for a magazine. I'm like, sure, I'll do the most scenic triathlon in Texas and go to Kerrville. Still, all of my swimming had been in a swimming pool
Uh-huh.
and not sharing the lane with other people, just myself. I didn't even want anybody in the lane next to me because I could feel their current. So I need some space. And I would not even flip turn. I'd touch and catch my breath and turn
Uh-huh.
around and come back the other way. And I signed up for a quarter. It wasn't even a sprint, a quarter, and got there for this triathlon. And I swear I was going to die right there in the lake with people's propeller kicks and their arms that are like swatting me in the face. And I held onto a rescue kayak and was like, I cannot do this. I can't do this. And the person in the kayak was like, give it a second. And that's all I needed. Cause I'm like, gosh darn it. I have to get through the swim if I'm going to do the bike and the run, the cool stuff. No offense, but the butter,
Oh, the cool stuff.
the, in my opinion, as a terrible swimmer, there was nothing worse. It was like, I mean, it was like I was being waterboarded. I will tell you every one of my darkest secrets to get me the heck out of this lake. And it was a terrible experience. And I remember calling a friend afterwards that loves doing Ironmans and loves triathlons. Like, that was terrible. I was beat by a blind woman. It was the worst experience. And I'm never, ever, ever like, remind me, I'm not doing that. And she said, oh, you just need some coaching. Like, no, there are other things I can do. I'm not coming back to triathlons. That was it. And then after a running injury that I couldn't keep doing the longer distance running, like, well, if I went back to swimming, that's no impact. And then the cycling is low impact. So probably should do this. And I just did need to work on the coaching. There's so many elements with running. You engage your core, you pump your arms, your body already wants to move cross laterally. Like when the right leg
Right.
comes forward, the left arm comes forward and opposite. So there's not a whole lot of thinking. You just do it. Or
Right.
y'all, there. I mean, mind boggling about now when do I breathe? Okay, we'll do every third breath. And that wasn't the problem. Like I got the breath part, but it's like look down and now reach and catch the water. I'm like, well, what does it really mean to catch it? I'm like, how does that feel? And flutter kick, like, well, am I supposed to shift the legs like this